This right here is the greatest deception ever sold and the greatest lie ever told. Did you ever eat meat and processed food? First of all, if you go into the Bible and you go back to the beginning in Genesis, fruit is the meat that we're supposed to eat, not animals. God gave us fruit and told us this will be your meat. Now this is before death entered the world. This is when the world was a paradise and the world was full of peace. This is before there was a such thing of sickness and disease and death and suffering. Fruit was our meat. And now people are calling the rotting and the decaying flesh of dead bodies meat. It's not meat. It's the rotting and the decaying flesh of a dead body. An animal was murdered. An animal died. Someone cut the flesh off of the corpse, sold it to you. You bought it. You fucking seasoned it. You cooked the shit out of it. And you put sauce on it. You put it on a bun. You did whatever you did. And then you ate it. Second, there is no such thing of processed food. Food is not processed. Food grows from the earth. Nature fully prepares food for us all. So there's nothing left to do but pick and eat. What you're calling processed food is not food at all. The greatest deceptions ever sold, the greatest lies ever told. To answer your question though, yes, I did used to eat the rotting and the decaying flesh of dead bodies. And I did used to eat the bullshit. The man-made, toxic, chemical, and drug-laced bullshit. This was before I knew and understood what I was eating. Then I started reading labels. You know, there's a chemicals label on the back of everything that you buy and eat. I started reading those labels. And I saw a lot of words I didn't understand. I couldn't even pronounce. So I started looking them up. Then I started realizing that this is not food. These are chemicals. And I started looking up the side effects. Oh, linked to heart disease, cancer, diabetes, schizophrenia, paranoia, bipolarism, ADHD, Alzheimer's, liver disease, kidney disease, dementia, heart attacks, strokes. I said, I ain't eating this shit. And I thought it was just one thing. But then it was two. And then it was three. And then it was four. And eventually it was every fucking thing I was eating that was made by a man. And then I started learning about this rotting and decaying flesh that I was eating. And I learned how many vaccines are injected into it to try to prevent it from becoming diseased because they live in such nasty and disgusting conditions. They won't change the conditions. They just inject them with vaccinations to try to prevent them from getting sick in these horrible conditions. And I learned about the antibiotics and the painkillers and the tranquilizers and all these different drugs that are injected into these animals, and realized, well, shit, I'm eating that too if I eat that. Then I learned how they spray certain animal flesh with carbon monoxide. Then I learned how all of this animal flesh is linked to cancer and heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, heart attacks, strokes. And I said, I'm not eating that shit. And so then I went through this period. Like, what the fuck? am I supposed to eat? I can't eat shit. I remember standing in a grocery store just looking around, thinking everything in this motherfucker is poison. None of this is food. And as I was doing my research and learning about what I was eating, reading these labels on everything I was eating, I realized how stupid it was to eat this shit. I realized that if I choose to continue eating this shit, I'm just begging to get sick. I'm begging for cancer. I'm begging for heart disease. I'm begging for diabetes. I realized that every time I eat this shit, I'm choosing death instead of life. And I wanted and still want to be in the best health possible my entire time on this planet. I stopped eating this shit a little bit at a time. And then I got hit the fruit. And now I only eat fruit. And now I have peace of mind.